Hello everyone, this is Osiris Frost. This past week, CIG faced a glut of criticism and tons of free publicity over the recently released Legatus pack. This package includes a comprehensive variety of Star Citizenships, but the thing that almost everyone is up in arms about is that it costs $27,000. Listen, there are plenty of things in life that cost a lot of money. No one is making you buy them. Probably, if you priced out all of the ships included in this package, buying them together like this does represent a value. I do have a problem with this package though, but it isn't the price tag. My problem is that this package doesn't suggest its own use. It's just an updated completionist package, full of extra ships to inflate its value. If anyone were to actually buy this thing, I have a hard time imagining that 90% of those ships would ever see the outside of a hangar. CIG says that it's marketed at org leaders, but I find it difficult to believe that anyone spending $27,000 on ships would be enthusiastic about letting other people fly them, at least without a lot of strings attached. But hey, to each his own. I'm not your father, and I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I'll just reiterate that I have no problem with CIG selling a game package for $27,000 or $27 million or anything else they want to charge. If you're interested in more about why I think the contents of this package are poorly considered, I've linked up my video on ship packages for you. With that out of the way, I want to talk about something that I find much more interesting than how other people spend their money. As you may or may not know, we learned back in January that CIG would not be attending Gamescom this year. Gamescom is an annual gaming convention held in Cologne, Germany. In terms of its size, it's actually larger than any North American gaming convention, like PAX or E3 for example. I don't know if it's the largest one in the world, but my point is it's huge. Tons of presenters set up booths and hold events, and huge numbers of attendees visit each year. For the past several years, CIG has been a regular attendee of this event, but this year they have abstained. As I've heard it said, they wanted to focus on development and getting Star Citizen closer and closer to launch, rather than divert resources to make another teaser video or presentation. That's understandable. Admirable, even. We're all looking forward to finally playing this game, hopefully sooner rather than later. Fast forward to this past week, May 29th, 2018, when Gematsu posted a story about the PC gaming show at E3, wherein they revealed a newly announced list of companies, quote, who will share enticing reveals with PC gaming fans, end quote. Any guesses who the second name on that list is? I'll link the article in the show notes for you. Now, before you rush to the comments section to tell me that CIG is not part of the list of participating companies on the E3 website, I already know this. This could be for any number of reasons. E3 kicks off in 10 days, and at this point they're probably pretty busy making sure that their big ticket items are squared away. CIG not being on their site could be an oversight. It could be that they charge a fee to be listed as a presenter at E3. It could be that their presence is confined to the PC gaming show, and as such they fall under that umbrella rather than E3 generally. I'm not hung up on the detail that they don't appear anywhere on E3's site. Rather, I'm of the belief that if somebody is going to publish an article 2 weeks before the event with CIG listed as an attendee and use the very specific language that they will be sharing an enticing reveal, that they probably know something that you and I don't know. This is too strong of a claim to be made erroneously. So what might that enticing reveal be? Well, it could be one of those cross-promotional things that CIG love to do. Maybe they'll rehash the Intel Optane presentation. They've done 2 of these so far. Maybe they'll show off face-over IP with faceware tech again. These are both cool things that might fall within the ambit of the PC gaming show, except that, technically speaking, they are not reveals. These things have already been revealed. Could it be another partnership? Maybe. But as I've marinated on this development over the past several days, a couple of things keep interjecting themselves into my thought processes. First, we know that Star Citizen is an enormously ambitious project. There have been times in the past where Chris Roberts has openly stated that he was debating whether or not to show off something right up to the day of the presentation. He is a perfectionist, and he wants to make sure that a thing is worth showing before he shows it. In fact, I have a pretty vivid memory of hearing him explain exactly this during some video. I can't remember which one. Maybe it was the last holiday livestream, or maybe the director's commentary of the Vertical Slice. Point is, this can explain why CIG is a late entry into this year's E3. Whatever the thing might be, he wasn't sure until just this past week if it was ready to go or not. The second exclamation point that keeps jumping into my mind is something I've talked about before, specifically the core tech improvements needed to finish development of Star Citizen. In no particular order, these are network bind culling, object container streaming, and server meshing. The final thing I keep circling back to is the general level of quality of the vertical slice shown off during the holiday livestream. When these things are taken together, I'm starting to get the sense that we might be in for a Squadron 42 release date announcement in less than 2 weeks. Let me break these things down. object container streaming is definitely the most important of these three technologies in regards to Squadron 42. I'd say that server meshing is completely irrelevant to Squadron 42 as it's a single-player game. Maybe at this point you're thinking that object container streaming isn't due out until 3.3 in September, but if you mosey on over to the RSI roadmap, you'll see that work on object container streaming is already mostly complete. And you'll recall when CIG implemented the roadmap, they said that the quarterly releases are targets, but that if something is done sooner, they won't arbitrarily hold it back, meaning that it's possible we'll see object container streaming well ahead of September. Let me paint a picture here for you. CIG has taken some heat lately over the modification of their concept sale LTI offers. They very nearly took it on the chin again when it looked like they may devalue items in buyback, but quickly assured us that this wasn't the case. They are currently enduring a lot of criticism from both within the community as well as outside of it over the price tag of this latest ship package. They are finding themselves in the line of fire with alarming frequency these days. What if Chris Roberts has been trying to ride out these rough seas, knowing that he was this close to being able to finally deliver on the first full release of the Star Citizen project? What could be better for rallying the troops than a release date for Squadron 42 Episode 1? On some level, he must be sensitive to the notion that people's outrage over these issues often has a lot to do with the fact that CIG keeps hitting us up for money, but hasn't actually delivered anything yet nearly 6 years into the project. He's likely thinking that if he can pull this off, all will be forgiven, and I'm inclined to agree with him. If he drops that bomb at E3, I think we'll see people returning to this community and getting hyped about the future in ways that exceeded even the release of 3.0. In an earlier video, I speculated that a release announcement would be coming later this year, probably around the anniversary sale or the holiday livestream, but with the progress made to the roadmap features I've mentioned and the current lay of the customer relations land, I find it entirely plausible that the timetable has accelerated in his mind, and we could all be in for the news we've been waiting for very soon. The PC Gaming Show at E3 will be live streamed on Twitch on Monday, June 11th at 3 p.m. Pacific. Whatever CIG has up its sleeve, we'll find out then. Until next time, this has been Osiris Frost. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's show. Thanks for watching. If you're new to Star Citizen, or you know someone who's thinking of playing, you or they can earn 5,000 UEC on your account by registering with my referral code, which you can find in the show notes down below. If you have any questions, feedback, or episode suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.